What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For all the day one fam, welcome back. Y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Let's get right into the story. Street life changes from generation to generation. Back in the day, most beefs was about controlling territory or making money. Bodies wouldn't drop that often, but when they did, it seemed like everybody in the neighborhood knew why the person was hit. And more than likely, it was over something serious, that even though no form of murder is cool, people understood. If someone was in the mix and did something to be put on the radar, people knew to stay away from the target. And even the person themselves knew to get put up because the hitters were coming. And if a mistake was made and a woman or child was hit by shooters, the community would make that person turn themselves in, or they had to face gangsters in the neighborhood that would get them gone as well. It kept structure and principles in place. But somewhere down the line, the streets got more reckless and lawless. The goal stopped being to protect, police our own blocks, or build the community. It became male ego and focusing on petty beefs. And then came in bigger blitz, younger shooters, and an on-site culture. On-site meaning wherever I see my enemy at, no matter who's around, I'm going to shoot. Now you got straight bullets hitting innocent people who do not have anything to do with the situation at all, losing their life because of where they live. And most of the time, the beef is not about money or nothing serious, probably over words, social media, or someone saying another person's significant other, leaving more and more people gone to reckless and careless people. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we will be taking it to Waco, Texas, to discuss a case of a 33-year-old woman sitting in her own home and a neighborhood beef turning fatal. According to sources, back in 2021, Amber Nicole Fulbright was 33 years old and enjoying life. Amber's nickname for family and friends was Chicken. The young woman was born on August 31st, 1987 in Hillsboro, Texas. Until later on, she moved to Killeen, Texas. Amber would get married to a military man and travel the world. Her hobbies would be cooking, working out, and having fun with her 2 daughters. Somewhere down the line, Amber ended up staying in Waco, Texas with a roommate. The area was the Kate Ross Apartments on 937 South 11th Street in Waco. Most say the area wasn't too bad, but just like most places over the years, it became worse with a few neighborhood beefs, including a 19-year-old man named Jeremiah Hicks, who allegedly had a beef in the area. Some claimed it was with another man in the apartments we will call T. T and Jeremiah had issues from high school days, and they would escalate over the next few years, to the point on March 12th, witnesses accused a man and Jeremiah of seeing T and a few more men walking in the complex and attempted to hit them with the whip, but failed. Nothing happened after the incident, but the next day, on March 13th, things would get crazy. When late that morning, Jeremiah allegedly doubled back to the apartments, this time strapped up with a blick. While sliding through, he saw T and another man. Jeremiah then parked the car in the 1100 block of Ross Avenue and called the men to the whip. As one of them approached, shots went off from inside the vehicle, striking one of the men in both arms and the back. The victim took off on foot as the car fled the scene. Witnesses called police, who responded to the apartments to find a man about 2:30 a.m. on South 12th Street and Cleveland Avenue, suffering from multiple wounds. He was rushed to a local hospital and went into surgery. He would fortunately survive the incident. Witnesses and T, who was one of the intended targets, but managed not to get hit, told police about Jeremiah allegedly declaring war on them over some beef from back in the day, even trying to run them over and then coming back blicking. He became the main focus of the investigation, but a twist in the case would happen the next day on a Saturday afternoon. Amber's roommate went to check on the young lady because it was 1:30 p.m. and she didn't come out the room yet. When her roommate entered the room, they noticed Amber laying motionless and blood around her neck. They quickly called police to the apartments. As they responded, the roommate told them Amber had a medical condition, so they didn't think anything about her sleeping in. But it started getting later and later, even for her. So they decided to check on the young lady to realize she was gone. The community was in shock, and detectives quickly made a connection that Amber was hit from a straight bullet from the shooting of the man that morning at about 2 a.m. And she had been in her bedroom, gone ever since. Neighbors were in outrage, and Jeremiah's name would come back up, not only for an attempt, but now a murder from a bullet going through Amber's window and hitting her. Jeremiah was arrested on March 18th, 5 days after the incident, on warrants from Waco and Harris County, and charged with aggravated assault. But once detectives realized who he was, and he was the same suspect from the apartments, he quickly got hit with murder charges as well. He was booked into county jail, with the case getting ready to go to trial. The young man's lawyer advised him to take a plea agreement because of witnesses from the community and a surviving victim. Also a straight bullet that hit Amber while she was in her home. Jeremiah, 20 years old at the time, pled guilty to murder and aggravated assault charges. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison. He told the court he was remorseful and the shooting of Amber wasn't his intent. He just wants to serve his time and make it back home to his family. The young man has to serve at least 15 years before being eligible for parole. Rest in peace to Amber. I send my deepest prayers and condolences to her family, especially her 2 daughters. Situations like this be crazy. For one, the people Jeremiah was trying to hit survived the whole situation, which is fortunate, but a young mother in her home, minding her own business, catches a stray over something she had nothing to do with at all. All these so-called shooters and hitters gotta understand, bullets don't have a name. And just because you got a blick don't mean just get out here and act wild because you feel disrespected. If the beef was over a high school situation between 2 men that were now grown, that just lets me know the mindset out here, holding on to a grudge from school. We gotta do better. I'm not green at all. I know unfortunately violence will never ever stop, but hopefully we can start thinking before we react and stop going straight to blitz. This situation, if it was that serious to Jeremiah, could have been a simple fight between men, but instead an innocent woman is gone and he has 30 years in prison. So remember, we gotta succeed not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, rest in peace to Amber. Like I said, she was in her home, minding her business, 2 in the morning. Her roommate ain't even know she was gone. She had been in there for hours. The young man, technically, in my opinion, he made out with only 30 years because you got to attempt and you got to hit, of an innocent bystander. But, he got to serve the first 15, then he'll be eligible for parole. He said it's not his intentions, or it wasn't his intention, and I believe that. But at the end of the day, that's what I mean by just going out here, just blicking. You thinking you doing something, you running down on people, but it's other people in the community that ain't got nothing to do with the beef. And it happens all over the world, leaving innocent people gone, man. But y'all already know, leave it in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. This is another episode of Hood Tales. It's all love, fam. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.